So what just happened there was we just sort of like snuck into some guy's base and then proceeded to just jump him and beat the living hell out of him. And then we just sort of snuck out. He woke up just in time to be like, no, what? Ah! Full army versus a sleeping man. I know, right? It was the best kind of battle. Alright, get up. Protect the hive. Yes, protect your hive. And so, oh man, there's just that sea of red there. So what we have here is our non-fog heavy Praetorians. They have crossbows. And so what that really means is they are able to focus their damage on a single person. Some of our dudes are going down, but it's not a huge deal. We are going to win this fight here. Quite handily, I should say. You're shooting at a random hive worker. Looks like he got wrecked. Who are you shooting at? Okay, a random fog heavy. Random hiver warrior. Sounds good. And we have taken on their entire hive all at once. I think there's a heavily armored guy over here. That's my assumption. Is there an armored guy? That is... Oh, there's a caravan here. That explains the seas of red. So, what I'm talking about there is Garu, these pack beasts. So when an animal attacks in Kenshi, it just attacks in a big cone ahead of itself. It doesn't, like, attack a given target. So what that means is whenever you saw a big sea of red where, like, there was a bunch of red hits, that's just when this Garu attacked somebody, and everyone was sort of bunched up. Alright, sounds good. How's our unconscious people doing? He's unconscious, not dying, and we are now recovering. So... Oh no, his arms got cut off. He's handy and handy. That sounds good. Alright, finish killing them all. Excellent. Kill them all. And then eventually, we will want to take our people and leave, because beak things are going to start showing up. And once that happens, they're going to start eating people. Now the good news is that we are just slowly taking everyone out. We're going to take their leaders and actually we're going to take as many people as we can back to our base and feed them to our other frogmen. Delicious. Alright, fight is over. He's going to be unconscious a while. He's going to be unconscious for a while. Sounds good. Then go pick that guy up. You go pick him up. Praetorian is stuck. Awesome. Okay, Heavy, go pick up the Praetorian. He is stuck on a box. This guy is getting up and saying, you guys should have seen the other guy. Let's put the Praetorian down. You two, jump up. We're under attack. Oh yes, this Hiver Prince here. Jump him! Okay, we got him. Did we take down the Hiver Prince? We did. Excellent. Praetorian. Start kidnapping people, please. There's about 40-something of us. Sleeping Kindergarten class versus Payday 2, Juggernaut, and a Cloaker Squad. Pretty much. It is... I mean, that's pretty much what's going on. A few of our guys are unconscious. A few of them got wrecked, but that's okay. What doesn't kill them makes them stronger. What does kill them means, everybody else sort of got a little bit stronger, I guess. Kidnap that person. Ooh, he's got pants. He must be important. Let's kidnap more people. We're gonna go and feed them to the fogmen that are around. He is bleeding. Just makes you think of Kung Pao into the vest. I'm bleeding, making me the victim. Man, that movie is so dumb, it's great. Alright, let's keep kidnapping people. All it takes good work. That's right. Indeed. Much indeed. And these guys are just going to suffer the worst deaths imaginable as they get eaten alive. He's unconscious. Those other guys are unconscious. That's okay. Ooh, there's more over here. Oh, yeah, I think we can put a garu on a stake or something for Fogman to come eat. So we'll just put him over there as well. Excellent. Wonderful. The wild fogmen that we have to go and eventually collect will leave these guys in little piles all over the Fog Islands. It'd be fantastic. Who are you fighting? Okay, now, is anybody dying? Crippled arm, not too bad. Unconscious. For a little bit longer. That guy's gonna be out for a while. Okay, not too bad. There are a handful of people who are going to be out for quite a while, like this poor guy. Okay, that's one of ours. Who exactly are you carrying? A soldier drone. I don't really care too much about the soldier drone, but it's a drone, a worker. Who cares about that one? How's this guy? He'll be up soon. He'll be up in like 10,000 years, so put him down. Who are you carrying, if anyone? Soldier drone. I guess the big question is, who isn't carrying somebody? Can you go pick them up? He can't. His arm's too jacked up. Okay, no worries. Let's see. Who's this? Soldier drone. I would rather drop workers than soldiers. Soldiers can actually fight back. These guys are just pincushion. Okay, you can pick somebody up, so you go ahead and pick him up. What do you got? Soldier drone. Man, we really just wiped out a bunch of soldier drones, didn't we? That's fantastic. Okay, he's already being held. He's laying on the ground. I'm wondering if this is real life or just fantasy. Okay, good. Still just laying there. His arm's jacked up. What about you? You're fine. We go pick him up. That's a worker drone. Fantastic. Throw him on the ground. And go pick him up instead. Excellent. Wonderful. Let's leave. We have everyone? We do. Looks like there is a pack of wild... Those aren't wild Garu, that's another caravan. It's okay. We have not left anyone behind. God damn it, the game crashed again. Something is getting stuck somewhere and it's causing the game to crash. Then again, this is Kenshi, the game of crashes. So, those of you who don't know, Kenshi was developed on an engine that was already considered ancient by the time the guy started making the game. So, yeah, it has its issues. Kenshi 4, Kenshi 2. I mean, pretty much. Kenshi 2 is supposed to be on Unreal Engine 4, if I remember correctly. Kenshi 1 is on the Ogre engine. And if you ever wanted to, and if you ever wondered why Helldivers 2 has so many little weird issues with it, it is literally because it is on a pretty old engine that they've sort of just been slapping together and making work. Okay, so he's being carried by someone. He is, and he's not. Okay, so we have two that we need to move over. We're not carrying anyone. Fantastic. You go pick him up. You're carrying a worker drone. Throw them on the ground. Go pick him up instead. Yeah, GTA 4 also sort of has some of those problems, I think. Alright, let's start heading towards Hive or Alpha. Somebody actually bought something from those guys? Alright, sounds good. So I don't see any combat so far, which is good. All of our people should slowly be catching up with us. Okay, so over here, everyone. All right, nice. They're making their way over. Fantastic. I think people just have like jacked up legs and stuff, so we might need to slow it down a little bit for some of them. What who the hell is that? I'm so confused as to who that is over there. My assumption is that it was somebody from Legion Primus who just managed to get out. Yep, it is a... Oh, we can't select him just yet. Maybe it's like a changeling from StarCraft 2. It's actually the AI trying to get us. Nope, it's just some random dude. Alright, sounds good. Private no namius, let's go. Okay, so we're gonna come back and there's another one? What? Okay, I guess we're gonna go over there and see who that is. It would be interesting if instead the reason they're there is that they're being carried around by cannibals or something. They just see like 50 hivemen and like the heaviest armor in the game show up. Here's the big question: are people actually taking damage over there? Wait, are you okay? Wait, you're from logistics. What are you doing out here? Go back home. Thank you. Oh no, somebody is attacking us. We need to kill them. As he kind of just got bored. That's probably true. He's just like, whatever. And, you know, being over there where it's nice and safe. Yeah, who cares about that? You gotta live a little, man. Oh wait, this person doesn't have any jobs. That's weird. Does anybody else not have any work? Oh, some of them literally don't have jobs. Well, the jobs to like actually follow Fed. Okay, well, we can do that real quick. Medic, rescue. And I guess we don't have it. Bodyguard Fed. Alright, sounds good. That'll actually follow us around. That's weird. I'm not sure how that happened. I probably just forgot to put their jobs in there. That's probably all. All right, let's go. So whenever you see us speed up a bunch, it's because we entered combat, or at least one of our squad members entered combat. They don't get jobs, so they're sleeping. Go outside and teach me we're not to live. Yeah, you know. The enemy should learn its place. We can't help it. Okay, random fogman of the mountain. Who are you? It's somebody in Legion Primus. Are you unconscious or something? Oh. Wait, this person doesn't have orders? Oh, it's because they're unconscious. Sounds good. And he just got tossed on the ground. I guess. Okay, well, I guess we'll come back for him. How's that? Unless he gets kidnapped or something. Then we'll roll in and force and slaughter everyone. There are big things over there, so that could be dangerous to him. Either way, it should be okay. So big things will eat characters who are unconscious on the ground. We don't really want that to happen to him. let's open that door. Let's come over here. And let's start putting people in cages when they are undesirable, as we say. Now, this person is one of our people, so we don't actually want to put him in a cage. He hasn't been that bad. However, this is an enemy. Therefore, it is time for him to be delicious. Let's go and put all these people in cages. And then if it shows anyone as being also, let's make sure we put down all of our people. Oh yeah, he's the one who's just out there in the middle of nowhere. Sounds good. I go do that. Fantastic. So who is not? Okay, cool. Alright, let's start throwing people in cages again. Now that we know that we're not going to accidentally throw any of our own people in cages. Because the other Fogmen will 100% come by and eat your own people. If they are in a cage. And we're the last ones, right? Yeah, these are the people who are unconscious. Okay, put in. Dismantle and dismantle. Okay. So they're going to just go and dump everyone off. Fantastic. Okay, is anybody carrying anyone else? It does not look like it. Let's go and pick up this. Huh? This bugman is carrying him around. Alright, sounds good. Can you put the Garu in a cage? No. Okay, change of plans then. We're going to take the Garu over here. He's got to go fast. Put the Garu on a stake instead. Okay, good enough. Alright then, it's time to go after these guys. As they carry our friend away. Don't you worry, young cannibal. You won't be getting away as easily as you think. Oh no, we're coming. He's like, don't worry, we got this. Oh! Kill them! That's the fastest fight in history. He sort of ran over, pimp slapped him, and then he just fell over. Alright, Ven, go pick this guy up. While we go and kill all his friends. Ah. Man, they're really chasing him down, aren't they? These guys get like 2 hits from us and then pass out. Just a handful of hits. Yeah, take that. Fantastic, everyone. Time to gather around once more. He is aimless. Let's go ahead and put him down. Make sure everybody medic, rescue, and bodyguard Fen. I hope that's not just stacking that order on people. It's not. That's good. For some of them, the ones that just got the order will have to mess around with their stuff a little bit, but not by a huge amount. Okay, we're probably gonna have some random fogmen, running out to join us now since they just got the order to do so. They are on the way. Yeah, pretty much. It is kind of like fighting children at this point. They really cannot fight back. But that's okay. Wonderful. Alright. Let's go ahead and quick save, just in case the game crashes, and let's head back over to that Hive village. So if you're curious, you can do this, which is called military-style caravans. Or, if you want to, you can set it to caravan-style caravans, which is where everybody is just in one long line. If you are oh yeah, and it doesn't actually follow your line, it just follows the facing that you're in. So like these people will get, they'll like do that, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But if you were wondering, so what medieval, what armies used to do, and I think still do today whenever they have to march somewhere, is they do form into nice little columns, usually straight if they're not expecting any kind of trouble. And they have their scouts right out in front of them and around them to make sure they're not getting flanked or just ripped apart. There have been times now in medieval warfare and the warfare of antiquity, the classical era, this was taken advantage of on a fairly regular basis. There are plenty of battles throughout history where literally someone was trying to move their army through some sort of hilly or difficult to navigate terrain, and then an enemy army just descended on them when they were still in line formation. The main issue with that in the real world, hey, welcome back. The real issue with that in the real world is that if you were looking at army formations in the medieval era and antiquity, generally speaking, the formation that fell apart first, that broke first, was the formation that lost. So what that really translates to is whenever you watch like a movie like Braveheart or something, and you see two formations, usually they just have it where it's like one side's one army, the other side's one army, and there's no like obvious setup for how they actually work. They don't seem like, it doesn't actually look like they're little formations, a bunch of little formations. Instead, just looks like a bunch of people. And then shortly thereafter, you just have these two armies of people run into each other, and they like penetrate each other's lines a bunch. And then there's just a bunch of little individual fights all around. That's not necessarily realistic for what battles in antiquity and the medieval era looked like, if you were ever curious about that stuff. Okay, let's set everyone to run as fast as possible except for Fat. The main reason they do stuff like that is so that in cinematography, it's so that you can have your protagonists doing stuff on their own and looking cool while having this backdrop of a fight around them all the time. Despite the fact that if a formation actually tried to do that, they would all just die. Okay. Let's go club these Hiver baby seals, shall we? Alright, cool. I don't see anyone. We're specifically looking for their faction leaders that are in this town. Every town has a leader, and if we can kidnap those, the town will die effectively. Okay, nothing here either. What about over here? Typically the leaders will say something as well. And usually with the Hivers, they are traders. As in they trade goods. So, in the Hiver, among the Hivers, the leaders are usually Hive Princes. Hive Princes effectively have enough autonomy to be able to just do whatever they want. Hence this guy. Diplomatic status. Hello, friends. I hope you're all here to have a bad time. Kill them! If you're wondering why they weren't attacking, it's probably because they were attacking the Hive trader of robotics. So, enemies that have NPCs that have diplomatic status can't be attacked with crossbows. Okay, let's kidnap that guy. Let's just go down the line of kidnapping everyone that we possibly can. And then we'll probably move on to the next Hive village. Ah yes, that guy's where he should be. His face in the dirt. If you're wondering, we're not really going to pick up a whole lot of... We're not going to loot a whole lot of this, because we kind of already have everything unlocked with like, Hiver gear. And the only thing we could possibly need that would improve our technology at the moment is going to be stuff like... Oh, I see Mr. Heavy here, as I'll say. Pick him up. Excellent. Put him down. Wonderful. The only way we could improve our technology right now would be by going and getting AI cores. Okay, so we haven't explored... we haven't explored that building yet, so let's go check that out, shall we? And they're all dead. Fantastic. Excellent. Okay, we have successfully slaughtered everyone here. They probably either bled to death or got eaten by big things. Fantastic. Let's head down here, then. We are the ones they fear. Okay, not sure why they stopped. Are you guys attacking something? Probably. It sounds like beak things. It's beak things. And they're all about to fire. Let's watch his health just go to 0, and this is why crossbows are super powerful. Yeah, there we go. They sent out a salvo, and it pretty much just insta-died. Let's wait for our people to get back. Catch up with us. And big things, while super dangerous in the early game, like, by the time you have decent fighting skills, they're not really going to be able to do much to you. They just have a bunch of health. That's kind of their whole thing. So when he gets back up, he will attack us, and then we will wreck him. Okay, we want to... I would actually like to train all those big things down here to this hive. Because if we do that, that would allow us to do all kinds of weird shenanigans. Over here, everyone. Got some copper over here. Fantastic. Our dudes run so much faster than we do. Mainly because we're just set to jog and they're set to run as fast as possible. So they can keep up with me. Looks like we have some friends. It looks like they're just going down to just wreck all those beak things. That works. Kill them all. We are unintentionally making Vane a safer place. We're not intending to do this. Instead, our dudes are just like, you what, mate? Okay, well, it looks like they are fighting a bunch of beak things anyway. So, let's go ahead and sneaky break our way over here then. Why not? There's the whole... Hello, Azure Gaming. How are you? Is it Azuragami? Like a origami? Right, well, someone can see us. I'm doing alright. Just got off of work, figured I'd stream for a little bit. There are a bunch of hivers over there. And we have a beak thing that wants to die. Sounds fantastic. Let's oblige it. Got shot once. I think I too would have problems if I got shot. Yeah, Zurigami. Hello, random Hive soldier. Goodbye, random Hive soldier. Oh, that alpha strike is hilarious. As we accidentally shoot ourselves in the back. It's okay though. They attack the Hive? We do attack the Hive. Die. Yeah, Kenji's pretty good. We're sort of at the end point of our playthrough. At this point, we just need to survive. Well, at this point, what we need to do is... slowly shoot them all through. At this point, what we need to do is basically just actually complete our goal of taking over the island. Yeah, we are getting there. He has somebody, right? Yes, you have somebody. You do as well. Oh, yes. Genshi's a good game too. Have you played Genshi before? It's definitely one of those games where when you understand the game... Oh yeah, Kenshi is fantastic. Just expect to die a whole lot until you figure it out. Don't be afraid to save scum at all. Save scumming is just a part of Genshi. Yeah, so Kenshi and Elden Ring are drastically different games. So in Kenshi, you have no real control over what the characters do and when they do it. It's kind of more like an RTS in a lot of ways. This guy, wait. Okay, I guess he can't carry somebody. What? Okay, cool. You can kidnap him. Excellent. So it's very much a game where you can kind of do anything that you want within reason. So yeah. So what'll probably happen is when you start the game, you'll probably go with the Wanderer start. So you'll start in the hub, and then from here you'll sort of try to figure out what you want to do. There are four major races that you can play as: humans, Shek, Hivers, and skeletons. Skeletons are robotic skeletons. They're not like undead skeletons. And so when you start off, you are the weakest person ever. And I actually have tutorials and a lot of stuff on my YouTube channel. It has the same name as Twitch, just Fen Muir. And so there are a lot of different ways you can play it. What I recommend you do is get to where your characters can run at 20 miles an hour. That's not that crazy for this game. And then after you are able to run at 20 miles an hour, I recommend that there are a lot of things. Yeah, very much so. Like, even to the point, like, if all of your characters die, the game just keeps going on as though nothing has changed. Like, literally, Kenshi does not care about you at all, period. And if you die, it doesn't care. That's just how, that's just Kenshi. It doesn't give you extra characters to play with. You're just done, basically. And so, what you'd want to do is get to where you can run at about 20, 22 miles an hour, and then I recommend you head over to Mongrel. Now, this is the Fog Islands, so if you get knocked unconscious here, people will eat you. But you can chop off Fog Prince heads and sell them for 5,000 money. So that's useful. They also have some gear. Now, if you don't want to do this, because this is kind of risky, then, hang around the hub and fight starving bandits to sort of get your skills up in this area. You can run into a bar and have the bar guards um, have them help you against like starving bandits and such. And there is a character that you can recruit in Squin. Yeah, well, I see that Streamlabs really didn't like that one. So, yeah, what you'll want to do is kind of just go there and do that. Let's see. I don't know if I can actually see moderation chat right now. Hmm. Oh, Streamlabs just didn't like that. Yeah, Streamlabs doesn't like long messages. Well, let's see. I can mess with that a little bit. Let's see. We got cloud bolt. And so with Kenshi, it is very much. Yeah, we'll turn that one off a little bit. Okay, now you should be able to send longer messages. Okay. So looks fine. Sounds good. All right. So what we're doing here is just wiping out the Western Hive. Okay, I think we've won this battle. Yeah, Kenshi's very much more of an RTS than anything. Yeah. All right. Let's kidnap more people to feed to our wayward potential future recruits. So in this game, the beginner area enemies won't necessarily win against you. Like if you have in-game gear and stuff. Um, but I mean, there is a chance. So in essence, when we look at say statistics, so these under weapons only affect damage. So and these really come. I think this stat is like half of cut damage, and I think like 20% of blunt damage. Every weapon in the game, this will work better. So this weapon does more cut damage than blunt damage. So what that means is the hacker weapon class, your experience with that, will be the most useful with cutting, and it'll contribute a little bit to blunt damage, but not a huge amount. Instead, blunt damage will mostly come from strength, and cut damage will mostly come from dexterity. The biggest thing to keep in mind with, uh, yeah, there is. So in the game, so one thing you can do is you can go over to gameplay, and you can set squad size multiplier to higher than one. What this is going to do is enemy squads, be that people or random enemies, that their value will be essentially multiplied by that number. So what that really translates to is there might be more higher like value units, if you will. There might be more potentially late game ish looking units that are in earlier areas. To put that in perspective, there are some enemies down here that only appear down here. But if you set squad size multiplier to really high, they can show up over here instead. They'll still show up down here. It's just they can also show up there if that multiplier is set high enough. The other thing is when you start a game, you can set a damage multiplier. And that damage multiplier literally multiplies all damage dealt by whatever percentage you set it to. Now, I highly recommend that you don't really mess around with those when you start a playthrough. So I'm going to be honest with you. If you were to set damage to max, there's a good and a bad part about that. The good part is your damage is also multiplied by that amount. So this will be where you hit an enemy and you're supposed to do like you're supposed to do like 20-25 damage to them, but instead you do like 100 or something. So it'll the way it will change the gameplay is more of whoever hits first probably wins. If you want to do difficulty, then I would do squad size multiplier. Um, Global population, you can increase that. That will make it to where there are more like camps around that could attack you. And the real like difficulty in the game starts to show itself when you make your own base. Because your base will just get like literally the moment you have a base on the that shows up on the map as anything, you will start getting raids. These raids are not actually designed to scale with anything, so literally you'll have like 50 people show up and just wreck your entire team just so they can run in and like steal some food and leave. Enemies will only ever steal food from you, so if you know a raid is coming, you don't think you can win, just take all your food out and run for your life, and eventually they'll get tired of being there and leave. The exception of this is if random wandering bandits come into your base, they can take over your base and they will man your base, and you'll have to drive them all. Usually, how you'll do this in the beginning of the game is just to hire mercenaries to go to your base, and then they'll just kill everybody. Um, but yeah, these are the main difficulty ones. So town raid size, town raid event size. So this one is very much like the Spud multiplier. It just applies to town raids. This is also multiplied by this. So I remember once I was in one place called the United Cities, and we had a base, and we were paying our taxes to United Cities, and so they sent like 200 people to come and kill us. It was so many people, the game lagged. So naturally, we just ran for our lives. So just too many, and we were literally just farmers out in the desert. Um, so town raid frequency, basically, if this is set to one, you'll get raided like once a week or two. Not very often. You set it to max, so 3 times you'll get raided pretty regularly to the point where you just need you need some kind of dedicated defense. So town attack frequency. So this is a separate thing to raids. So this is just enemies appearing near your base and sort of like walking up to your base and just randomly attacking it. At our point, this isn't really a big problem, and because we are playing as Fogmen in the Fog Islands, most of what would spawn there would be Fogmen or really low tier humans. So they're not really going to be a problem for us. Yeah, I know, right? And then dismemberment. So if this is normally this is set to rare, and what this means is a limb has to get reduced to negative its health and hit points or more, and then suffer any cut damage, and then the limb will fall off, or the limb will get removed. If it is set to frequent, however, the moment that limb hits negative its hit points, it comes off. Doesn't matter if it was by a hammer or anything else. It could be by acid, and it'll just come right off. Now, I'm playing Hivers, so we're immune to acid, but this is sort of explaining what these are. Dismemberment can make your game either really funny and help you, or it can make your game incredibly difficult. Because if a character loses a leg, they have to crawl. So, in the mid to late game, yes. In the early game, dismemberment means you have a character that moves at like 1 mile an hour because they can only ever crawl anywhere. By the mid to late game, though, someone's arm gets cut off, and so you just replace it with a straight upgrade. So to give you an idea of that, I need to find. Okay, so I need to find a normal like Hive worker who still has a normal arm. This might be difficult. Okay, so we have these guys. So this guy that's not fully healed. Okay, these guys. So these Hive workers, these Fogman workers, their right arm has 50 HP. So that means it can take a grand total of 100 damage before it's flying off, which is why they're missing arms. If we go and compare that to just like a kind of a crappy arm here, or if we find a really good one that we would like. Honestly, in this game, you're kind of encouraged to be evil. Like, this game is very much you are not necessarily a good person, and everything that you do that you think is being good is probably destabilizing the island or the continent and just leading to more pain and suffering than you actually think. Like, that's the reality here. Um, this game, everything that you do that you think is good is probably making things worse. And just embracing one nation and just spreading their tyranny all over the island is probably one of the best things you could do if you wanted to actually help civilization. So in a way, it's like the real world. So so these flogmen, they have 50 HP and an arm, right? We can give them arms that have like 200 HP, 250 HP, meaning that literally, and also improve their stats. So literally, losing an arm is an upgrade. Okay, who's this guy? He's him. Okay. You're him, excellent. We're just kidnapping more people to feed to our auxiliaries. Good kidnap. Fantastic. Man, this fight really didn't put up much of a... So here's how slaves work in Kenshi. So you can sell people into slavery, usually in the United Cities. However, the only way to get a slave to join your faction is to buy them, and then there is a chance is to buy them and then specifically take off all of their slavery stuff, and then there is a chance that they will join your faction permanently. However, they might just run off. Generally speaking, you're going to want people to stick around forever, because when they do actually choose to stick around, then they just become normal recruits. And normal recruits basically just work for free forever. So, yeah, there's no real upside to having, like, slaves, per se. What in the world? What is this person doing? Random fogman who got jacked up. Hold on. Did somebody die? No, he's just in a weird... He's just doing... Just dismember them if they run off. Yeah. It can definitely work. Why do hives always flee my shop? You will love my goods. Nothing is stolen. I promise. I killed him. I mean, you definitely can. You can put them into cages. Okay, looks like this fight's going pretty well. We have gotten to the point where we can just take on an entire, like, hive and win. Oh, thank you. As Yorigami. So normally in the game, so if you want the game to be really difficult, then what you're going to want to do is build a base ASAP. Like, that is going to be what will make the game as difficult as possible. And then actually try to defend it. Now, let's say, for some reason, you get in over your head and you actually need to start getting away from enemies. But those enemies run faster than you, or they are big things and they run way faster than your people, or your dudes are all just, their legs are all broken, they're just completely crippled. So there is something that you can do, which is you go to save, you can save your game somewhere, then you go to load, and hit reset squad positions. What this will specifically do is teleport all of your dudes to where that little green cursor is. Basically, that's just what the camera is focusing on. Now, the reason for that is you'll notice that this dude is stuck over here. He can't get out of there at all, period. So, as a failsafe to make it so you can always get people out of stuck situations, they left that in the game, essentially. So, anyway, that's why that is there, and that's how you can use it. But alright, let's go. Don't flee from my shop. Don't you worry about that, buddy. Actually, I'm gonna go talk